Hey guys, thanks for taking the time to check out my channel. My name is Noli and welcome to the Gaijin Golfer. I started this channel with the intent to answer a very simple question, and that is, why don't we see more Japanese golf clubs in the Western market? I think, as a fan of Japanese golf clubs, that it's extremely strange because golfers as a whole are almost always on the hunt for better and better clubs, right? More distance, more accuracy, more forgiveness. It's the entire reason TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, Cobra, and Titleist are releasing clubs on almost a yearly basis, or exactly a yearly basis, because we demand it, right? Because we're always looking for better and better clubs. And because of that, I think it's weird that an entire industry, meaning an entire market, meaning the entire Western market, is almost completely unaware that these incredible clubs exist out in Asia, in Japan, particularly because the quality of the clubs in Japan is just as good, and some might say better, than the stuff coming out of the West. So it just blows my mind that more people are not aware of Japanese golf products. So I started to think about why that might be. And the first thing I thought of is, maybe Japanese golf clubs are just too expensive. Maybe people just can't afford them. They are notoriously more expensive than their American counterparts. But then I started thinking about how people drop like $500 on a Scotty Cameron putter or more, up to $2,000, $3,000 for a Scotty Cameron putter. PXG is also selling and increasing their revenue yearly. They're becoming more and more popular, and they're the irons alone are, I think the last time I checked, like $425 per iron. So those aren't cheap, and that just shows me that people are willing to drop the cash on a set of clubs or a club if they think it'll help their game. I threw that out. Then I thought maybe people think that Japanese golf clubs suck, but then I realized that couldn't be it, because most people out here in the West probably drive a Japanese car, use Japanese electronics, and Japanese products are synonymous with quality and attention to detail and reliability. And that's exactly what you'll get with Japanese golf clubs. So I threw that idea out the window. And then I started thinking about, well, maybe it's just Japanese golf companies are not marketing here in the US for whatever reason. So maybe it's just that people out here are completely unaware. They're just not marketed to. So I thought, maybe I should just introduce you guys to these brands and see if there might be interest. Maybe the only reason people out here are not buying Japanese golf clubs more is they simply just don't know about them. Most people out here are already familiar with Mizuno, probably Hanma now with Justin Rose moving over from TaylorMade a couple years ago. Some people don't even know that Srixon is actually a Japanese brand. But aside from that, you might know of a few brands here and there, but by and large, the general population, in the US, Canada, Europe, are largely unaware of the brands coming out of Japan. So I think what I wanted to do with this channel is educate you guys, introduce you to various Japanese golf brands, and see if there's interest, right? Like, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe nobody will give a crap if I show you guys these clubs, these brands. And so maybe a year from now, we discover that there's just absolutely no desire for Japanese golf clubs in the Western market. Case closed, experiment over, and I shut the channel down. But maybe we discover that there are actually people who want to buy Japanese golf clubs, and they just were simply unaware that they existed. So that's what this is. This channel is an experiment. So let's find out. The plan is, as I mentioned, I will introduce you guys to different Japanese golf clubs in each video, or Japanese golf manufacturers rather, in each video, and see what you think. I'll also try to do some club reviews and maybe some other different sorts of videos just to kind of introduce you to the Japanese golf industry, but primarily I'll be introducing you guys to different brands. Another reason that I wanted to create this channel was to develop a community for fans of Japanese golf clubs and for people who are potential fans of Japanese golf clubs. I would like for there to be a place online for people to communicate. I know that when I looked for places, I was only able to find one place online, and I'll get to them in a little bit, for fans of Japanese golf clubs and to find out any information about Japanese golf clubs. And so it was a little disheartening to discover that. So I wanted to create another sort of venue, another option for people who are fans to commune and to talk and to learn and help each other find out stuff about Japanese golf clubs. A couple things about me. First off, number one, I am not an expert in Japanese golf clubs. You guys are probably like, well, then why the hell are you starting a channel? Well, I am a fan of Japanese golf clubs. I'm a huge fan of Japanese golf clubs, and as such, I'm probably a little bit more well-versed than the average person outside of Asia when it comes to Japanese golf clubs. But this channel is also going to be a learning experience for me. It'll help me learn more about the clubs and as I introduce them to you. But that being said, with me not being an expert, I think if you are an expert or if you have knowledge of certain brands and I say something in a video and I'm completely off, or maybe I'm missing some information, please correct me. Please, in the comments, mention what I said wrong or mention something that I might have missed, looked over, because again, this is a community for people to learn and to grow in regards to Japanese golf clubs and to find out more about them, not just for you guys, but for myself as well. One more thing about myself is I am not a professional golfer. I'm probably not even a very good golfer. I think I'm average, to say the least. I shoot in the mid 80s to mid 90s on average. That's about where I shoot. So yeah, I'm not a scratch golfer. I'm not a pro. I'm not a club pro or anything like that. But I think the fact that I am sort of an average kind of golfer is good for you guys, because it shows you what, I'm representing the majority of us out there, the majority of people who play golf. I'm not representing, the whatever it is, the 5% of people who are scratch golfers. So their club reviews and the opinions that I provide you guys are strictly from somebody who's very likely, has a game similar to yours. So I think that's a benefit for you guys to get somebody who's more closely related to your skill level. And the last thing is, you might be thinking, this is great and all, but in my area, we don't get Japanese golf clubs, so why the hell should I care? You might be wrong about that, and let me explain. There are a couple ways, or a few ways to get your hands on some Japanese golf clubs. The first is, if you are lucky enough like myself, I live in the San Diego area, there's a shop nearby me called Fairway Golf, and they carry several lines of Japanese golf clubs, and so I'm able to go there, check them out. I believe they have locations in LA as well. I'll put the link in the description below so you guys can check them out. But yeah, do some research in your neighborhood, see if in your area there might be a shop like that. You might be surprised. They're there, and sometimes they just don't promote, or sometimes they just don't advertise that they carry Japanese golf clubs, or maybe just because you weren't aware of what those brands were in the past, you didn't realize that they carried them. That's one thing. Number two, you could go to Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's Sporting Goods carries Hanma and Zixio golf clubs now, I believe. So you can go check them out there. It is only a couple Japanese golf brands and not, a whole bunch, but at the very least, if you've never heard of those brands, you could give them a shot, get your hands on them there. Lastly, of course, online is always an option. eBay is an okay choice, but of course, you never know what you're going to get on eBay. You don't know if it's legit or not. So I would actually suggest a really great site, and this is the community that I was going to tell you about earlier, that I had mentioned previously in the video, and that's TourSpec Golf. They are great. Actually, they have a blog, they sell golf clubs on their website, they have a forum where members can communicate and talk and educate each other about Japanese golf clubs. Basically everything that I had mentioned previously that I want to do with this channel. The only problem that I have with TourSpec, and it's not any fault of theirs, like I said, I think they're great, is just that they're the only ones. I've tried to do research and find other Japanese golf club resources that are in English, and that's the only one I was able to find. If you guys know of something, please comment down below and let me know. I'd love to find other ones, but really, anytime I try to do a search for anything related to Japanese golf clubs, that's it. That's the only thing I find. The good thing is they're very thorough. They seem to be very well connected to the Japanese golf industry, so they're great. Check them out. I highly recommend them. I just want to create another venue, another resource for you guys if you are interested in Japanese golf clubs, and also an alternate point of view. They're very technical. I am not. I will probably give you more the layman's view of Japanese golf clubs and that sort of opinion. So, it might be good just to hear a different point of view than somebody like them. So that's pretty much about it. If there's anything that you guys want me to do videos on, any products or any brands that you want me to do reviews on, or if there's anything related to Japanese golf clubs that you want me to do videos on, please let me know. Comment on any of the videos that I put up, and I'll be sure to try and accommodate you as best as I can. I am planning on putting up a video in addition to the brand introduction videos. I'm planning on putting together a video on how to buy used golf clubs in Japan, because I know that when I went to Japan several years ago and I tried to find information about buying clubs in Japan, I found virtually nothing. I think I found like one thing on TourSpec Golf, and it was like from 7 years before. I didn't even realize I didn't know if the knowledge was still valid, like if the information was still valid. So I've been to Japan several times since then, and I've purchased clubs multiple times. And so I'll give you guys a little bit of my background, my experience buying clubs in Japan, and how I handle it and what to do. So again, if you guys have purchased clubs in Japan and you're experts in that area, please comment on that video when it comes out, because as I mentioned, I'm trying to learn as well as educate you guys. So I really appreciate the input, and I really appreciate any sort of commentary that you guys can provide. So with that, I guess that's it, and I will put out the next video in about a week, and I will see you in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy this journey. I'm excited to take you guys on it, and let's see where this takes us. All right, guys, see you next time.